Field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe. Look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They come in 0-3 and in desperate.
Just them, they think they have the makings of a good team.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
In the offense last week, they had things
To start the drive, but that one incomplete.
defensively here. You're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Looking to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful.
Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Play action. It's Newton. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Newton, flush to his right. And avoids the contact by sliding. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Off play action. Newton. Powerful run. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Leonard Williams in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and then hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Sims. The tackle by Tremaine Johnson.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
Watch it now, Barney!
On 3rd down, that's Sims. And Sims lost it. He lost the football. But I think a Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home, the next guy can.
A good pickup there on 1st as a screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now they run with Sims. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give them 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
He's going to get it running right. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets are able to strike for 6. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, for the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field, and it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So able to break through the initial contact and then down right near the 25. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 3rd down, that's Harrison. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. To throw is Newton. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now Sims. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Open man is Stewart. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose you.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll set up to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Again, it's Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, and defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run here with Sims. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll drop the throw. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Watch it now, Barney.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Give him 30 yards there. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into...
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. To throw on second down is Newton. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Newton now on second down. And incomplete there. Continues, these receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On third down, Newton. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll run it here. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4.
Detroit! Detroit!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. 23 yards on the play.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Jerry Atauchu brings him down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And the Panthers coming out now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
First down.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Now a first down throw for Newton. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff Heuerman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Here's Newton. And he finds the tight end, Rodgers. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On first and 10, Newton. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Back to the air, Newton on second down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Time for a break. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
No, Jack, Patriot.
Now a handoff looking right. And a solid run down inside the 30. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. 3rd and 2. Toss play to Sims. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position there.
Bigger chance. We'll see if they can get the score. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Newton on first down. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. The Panthers got to go quickly. They're moving with a sense of urgency right now. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Sideline throw, that's caught by Moore. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Newton to throw, and he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down, and incomplete. Again, Newton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They'll run. This is Cannon, and he'll work his way forward up to the 22. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1970.
Have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if it had ain't.